All right, it's the third time I'm making this fucking video. I'm gonna be very concise with this shit. No long soliloquies. I don't really trust ShawnCee. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't. The reason why I don't is because I don't know his intent, but I do watch his behavior patterns. Even in this video that we're gonna currently watch, and it's just only a section, I will link this other part. You go watch the rest of it on your own time. But as far as the part that I don't understand with ShawnCee is, it says Drake is right about Kendrick, right? What is Drake right about Kendrick about, right? In the video, it's almost as though he implies, not even almost as though, he implies that Drake, he can guarantee almost that Drake isn't aligned or adjacent to Maga. Case in point, he says that, right? But again, behaviors, because in the same video, this is my whole issue is pick a side, ShawnCee. Pick a side, right? So he says that he can almost guarantee that Drake isn't Maga, but you then say and show pictures of Drake with XQC, Drake with Aiden Ross. We already know how they feel. We know how they feel. And another character that Drake was with, basically chatting it up, taking pictures and everything, cool as fuck with him. You understand what I mean? And then another thing he stated is, it's crazy how Drake can call out DJ Khaled for not saying anything about the Palestine, but he's also being blasted for using that and not speaking on black issues. So it's like, how do you do one thing but again, to ShawnCee's point, he says that he can almost guarantee. I don't know how you can almost guarantee that when you're saying a whole nother thing. You understand what I mean? This is, again, pick a side. That's how I'm approaching it. And this is not just been with this specific incident, but it's been multiple incidents with ShawnCee where it's kind of like he'll play the role of, and I'm not even gonna call him a panderer. I think it's just more so the aspect of this gets the algorithm going, so I'm gonna milk that shit. It's just a game, right? It's the game. The issue that I have with it is that choose a fucking side. Choose a side so we can know what type of time you're on. That's all. I get the aspect of being nuanced, right? You know, everything is in black and white. There's gray areas. Let's just keep it a buck. Some people play that gray area so they can have both sides of the fence. They can milk both sides. I could be this type of way and I could be that type of way. Either way, I'm still getting that money. I'm still getting them views. Even this one got 10K views. 10K likes. He got multiple pages, 217 subscribers, 170 views within 2 days. This is the major topic, Drake and all that good shit. But again, this really ain't even about Drake. It's really kind of about ShawnCee's perspective on how he approaches his videos, because it's almost as though he speaks on, it's like a surface level politics type of thing, right? Because he speaks on aspect of gender politics. He speaks on aspect of this, which is, let's just keep it a buck, it's political, because it's talking about how Drake views black people and how he uses them for their capital, for their social capital, but then basically don't say shit about them when we need your voice. You understand what I mean? But you use us when you're trying to sell a product. I would say I can almost guarantee that ShawnCee is doing the exact same shit with these videos that he gives to his audience. You understand what I mean? He's not the only one. I'm not gonna hold you. He's not the only one. I think that even I don't want to say too much right now, but I do have some theories. You feel me? I do got some theories on some people. When I do have enough evidence presented to me, I'll break it down. But this video perfectly entails how it's like, choose a side. Choose a side. You know what I mean? It's not about the gender war. I'm thinking maybe he's empathetic to the aspect of Drake is also a light-skinned fellow. First thing that comes to mind is beige rage. Drake is also a light-skinned, fair-skinned man, right? I'm thinking that that's maybe the reason why he feels so inclined to say, I can almost guarantee that Drake isn't MAGA adjacent, when you literally give us give us pictures of why we should believe the opposite. You understand what I mean? Again, maybe this is like a bigger play, but then again, I don't think that, not saying that I don't think that ShawnCee is that smart. I just don't think that with these videos, it's that, I want to say it's that deep, for lack of better words. So it's almost like a dog whistle to the people that know within the quote unquote black conscious community when it comes to talking about specific shit like this. But and to I'm gonna let it play.
This is no secret. It's been around and in his discography since he first started putting out music, and it's been very obvious and clear who he's wanted to listen to and interact with his music, even as recent as his Miss Morale and the Big Steppers album, making it abundantly clear that this is for black people with black eyes and black ears and black voices. Kendrick Lamar is not the only artist who seems to be more comfortable with black people listening to their art than anyone else. You have examples in rapper No Name, who voiced her concerns in her
I was gonna say before you finish that, it's not just for black people, and again, this is the aspect of I don't expect everybody to understand that. In my opinion, I get the aspect of how it looks that it's just for black people, but again, and I say that, right? I'm not the artist, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know. I can almost guarantee, like he said, right? I can almost guarantee that it's not just for black people. I believe that even Kendrick himself had people within his circle or within his family group or within his friend dynamic as he was growing up that literally said to him, nobody trying to hear that shit, bruh. Like, you want some rapidy rap shit. You want some conscious shit. I know black people that are like this. We all do. You understand what I mean? I believe that it's for black conscious people. Again, to the James Baldwin quote, to be black and to be conscious within America is to be at a constant state of rage, right? Unless you're able to have the capacity to deal with that and handle that and quell that rage, quell that fire, and actually listening to understand these lyrics, listening to understand why he feels the way he feels. I still go back to Mortal Man, you know what I mean? Where he was literally talking to, he was talking to Tupac's spirit, for lack of better words, right? Or even videos, songs like We Gonna Be Alright. We Gonna Be Alright. Like, niggas ain't trying to sing that all the time. But you know what? When you working on that shift, you feel me? You in the sun, you in that hot ass sun. It's almost like a fucking, I hate to be like that, but it is. It's like a fucking, it gets you pumped while you at work slaving, dog. Let's just keep it a buck. At work, hard working. You know what I mean? We gonna be all right. We gonna figure this shit out. We don't know when. We don't know how. But we gonna figure this shit out. No Name is another young lady that actually comes to mind where it's not just black people that she wants in her at her concerts. She want black conscious people, bro. I remember following her book page where she's giving out to people in prison and shit. Like, I get it, parasocial, but I do believe that No Name's heart is in a good place when she does things like that. Again, going based off of people's behavior patterns. Not what they say, but their behavior patterns, right? I'm gonna let it play.
Comfortability with white people chanting the word nigga back at her on stage, just to say that there are quite a few artists who are very intentionally black with some of the art that they put together. And while none of this art is exclusive to the demographic that they make the music for, it is kind of loudly unsaid that I made this body of work with this particular group in mind and not X, Y, and Z. And that isn't to discount any genuine identification.
And I even had to I need to go back on it, but No Name did call it out where she was like kind of questioning about her aspect of, when I go to my concerts, it's a lot of them people and it's not a lot of us at my concerts. You understand what I mean? And people were like, well, I think it was a lot of black people that were talking about either her tickets were way too high or some shit like that. I don't know. Who's to say they were even black people, right? Because I think around that same time, they was outing a lot of those fucking bot pages to be like, actually, I said bot pages, but basically pages to be actually white people that have black faces and shit. It's the weirdest shit. It's the weirdest fucking shit
of yourself that you may have seen within some of the bodies of work that they produce, if you happen to be non-black. But I do remember there being a point in time in black history or within black hip-hop culture where a white hip-hop fan was mistaken for a white ally. And through many of conversations throughout the next 20 to 25 years, they would slowly but surely identify themselves as who they really were through their political beliefs, their human rights beliefs, even their spiritual beliefs. And throughout the years, more black people would seem to vet more carefully white consumers of black culture. At the time Malcolm X gave this speech about the white liberal, hip-hop wasn't a thing yet. It hadn't been invented, and it wouldn't develop its cultural currency until many decades later. And for the sake of the remainder of this video, I'm gonna just call the cultural currency nigga bucks. When Drake talks about white kids listening to you because they feel some guilt and that's how your soul get fulfilled, I know this.
The weirdest part about that is, Drake, you're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself. Projection, nigga. You're talking about yourself, my nigga.
Bird brain ass nigga is only saying that because he wants to dig at Kendrick Lamar again and minimize his cultural value to white people put you in the position that you're in because they feel bad for you. But there is a layer of truth to what Drake says in that there are
and this is where I kind of disagree with him, but he almost says that it's a good chunk. It's a good chunk of white people that do this and basically have a white guilt, right? I'm not saying that it's not any, but it's a good chunk. You gotta give me some, how much percentage, nigga? How much of the percentage, nigga? Cause I gotta hear this shit.
Group of white people who feel once they have gained enough nigga bucks, they have a foot or a place in the culture. And it's especially running rampant from those voices who believe that they understand.
This dude, he cried when this dude died, and people were getting on his ass about that because he's a liberal, like a white liberal, right? But I think I had a video about fucking even Hassan Piker and his views on black people. A lot of it, going back to ShawnCee's example of nigga bucks, I won't say it like that. I'll just say black American social capital. You understand what I mean? Black American specifically's social capital. Because they're not going to Africa to figure out basically how to be black Africans. They're trying to be black American, specifically. Just
what it means to be a black struggling individual in America. Whether you're struggling financially, whether you're struggling socially, whether you're struggling mentally, there's always a layer of cultural richness that isn't fully tapped into whenever you hear about the quote unquote black plight in America from the perspective of white eyes. It's why when black people were championing one another to vote more and to help try and go against the narrative that it doesn't mean anything, there were so many hesitant to take advice from white voices championing Kamala Harris. When many of us knew she wasn't going to get voted in and she wasn't going to win, the black mess.
I won't say that. I think it was just, well, yeah, I would say that. I will say that because if I can see people like Nick Fuentes saying, do not vote for this fucking Republican that Republicans put on the forefront to win the candidacy for, he purposely said, do not vote Democrat before you vote for that dark-skinned Indian. I'm sure that they're not making whole lives, like YouTube lives about it and talking about it on YouTube Live and probably Twitch, but they're definitely making every excuse in the book to not vote for this woman of color. I'll just say woman of color, because you ain't gonna get me to say that she was black American. You ain't gonna get me to
message wouldn't sour from guys we can do this to, oh, what's the point? I know a lot of black people that did not expect her to win. Doors being slammed in your face despite qualifying for the same position being explained away as, we just don't think you're the right fit, might do that to you. The point is, out of a want to be petty, Drake incidentally sparked a conversation about white guilt and how it manifests within hip-hop.
That's another thing I don't agree with. Drake is the one that sparked this debate. This debate has always been there. You don't even remember niggas like what is this? Who's the Ice Baby? Was it Vanilla Ice? Is that his name? Vanilla Ice? You remember the Vanilla Ice if you old enough to, because I don't even remember. I ain't gonna hold you, but I do remember his ass being white. I do remember that shit. I remember even people like Mark Wahlberg. Is it Marky Mark? That's what his rap name was. But we found out that he was racist as fuck. It's always been inside of the social a black American capital that the capital that black Americans give to these motherfuckers, these outsiders, for lack of better words. You feel me? Like it's some sick work, but he didn't spark no debate. It's always been there. It's always been there. I think that he'll probably like open it back up, for lack of better words. But even that kind of like, are we really talking about it, my nigga? Are we really truly talking about it? You talking about it? But it's like, for Drake, for a nigga that don't even know himself, you know what I mean? Like,
I actually made a video about this a long time ago.
Do white people understand rap? Again, 320,000 had Kendrick Lamar's face on it. Do white people understand rap?
Not to be antagonistic.
I don't. And with his position with Drake, I don't even, not to be antagonistic, but I can almost guarantee that even this nigga don't even understand rap. You understand what I mean? And again, I can give that the aspect of I'm a little bit older than him. I'm 36. You feel me? I'm a little bit older than him. So it's like I think that my position with rap and my aspect of adding the aspect of consciousness to rap, because listen, just be clear, that's a specific genre within itself that some black people don't even want to hear. It's kind of like the aspect of black people not wanting to see slave films. You feel me? Like that's what it replays in their head when they listen to conscious rap, because nobody want to hear that shit. You understand what I mean? This is what black American people have said. They rather listen to the NBA young boys of the world that had shit like Trump, you know what I mean? Vote for Trump or some shit like that. I'm basically putting Trump in all his lyrics and shit like that. Or I think he even brought up Playboy Cardi. You understand what I mean? Or even fucking Kanye West when he did the shit that he did. Now he took it back, but he still did the shit that he did. You understand what I mean? I digress.
All right, just a little bit. And I listed a few records. Not how to be petty. Drake incidentally sparked a conversation about white guilt and how it manifests within hip hop. In fact, I actually made a video about this a long time ago. Not to be antagonistic. All right, just a little bit. And I listed
again, implying that he did mean to be antagonistic. Going back to what I said before is, does he even understand rap? Or was that just a clickbaity title to get people, it's provocative. It gets the people going. You know what I mean? You can be good at that, but not good at the aspect of, do you even understand rap? You understand what I mean? Because I don't even think to talk about rap in a way to basically be provocative it almost misses the point of discussing rap. It's more so just to get eyes on it. I do believe that rap should be gatekept. I'm one of them type of niggas. You understand what I mean? So it's like when you talk about it in a way just to get eyes on it, it almost dilutes the actual solution or any type of answer to the video if it even has an answer in it. You understand what I mean? I may watch it just to hear his, soliloquy on it. But I don't think it's going to be a real solution, more so another fucking question at the end of it.
A few records out, for example, not in the video, but on Twitter when I originally started the conversation. And the amount of white people that were upset at the thought that a black man had a little confusion over what white people gain out of listening to black.
And I think he's talking about himself. Again, dilutes the point of the actual question in the first place. You understand what I mean? It was more so, it was provocative. Again, I can't hate the play. I just got to hate the game. It just is what it is. But if you're going to ask the question, do white people understand hip hop or understand rap? Let me say that. Understand rap, because hip hop is a whole nother. But rap, hip hop, some people, interchange it. You know what I mean? But I kind of separate it because rap is more popish compared to hip hop, if you want to be honest. But yeah, I don't think that he was kind of like trying to find an answer. It was more so just to get people to get eyes on his video type shit.
Music, the anger that was spewing.
I can almost guarantee you that's what it was. Okay.
from them in that moment was like it was like tasting the sweetest tears ever. Asking a white person what they gained out of listening to music that was made exclusively for black people felt like loading up a Glock and shooting them with a bolt of lightning. I was either met with anger or confusion, which is why I'm glad I lived through the 2016 to 2020 era of like purely or majority white hip-hop content creators. Now that we have significantly more black voices within the space,
I'm not gonna hold you. I agree with some of FD Signifier stuff. I don't agree with all of it. I think that even FD Signifier is more so, he'll come to conclusions that I actually understand and see the nuance and empathetic nature that he gives. But I think that I'm not gonna hold you. I think that I've seen him literally be begging folks to get me in on these panels or let me talk to these. I mean, yeah, and I'm looking at it in the sense of, is it to truly talk about the aspect of trying to understand it, or is it to gain a new audience? You understand what I mean? I know y'all understand what the fuck I mean. Like, is it to truly actually break down the issues, or is it to gain a new audience? And two things could be right at once. You trying to kill two birds with one stone. But I can almost guarantee you, it's one is a little bit more than the other. You understand what I mean? I can almost guarantee you that shit.
That
nigga wildin' too.
About American politics. I'd bet every lock I used to have on my head, and I still got them by the way, that Drake don't actually know who freed the slaves. But that isn't necessarily important to the white fan that wants a place of refuge, which is a space that Drake has been slowly but surely crafting for the last 5 years. And you could say that this all predates Drake, this history of misogyny and toxic masculinity within a...
Even when the way he said that, I don't know if he's serious. Because again, ShawnCee has had videos talking about the spaces of toxic masculinity within rap and hip hop. Is it recording? All right, yeah. My bad. Case in point, you're going to see all of the videos. These is not even half. He made more, but you're going to see videos just pop up all over the screen. These are all of the videos that he's done, quote unquote, talking about the situation. And let's just keep it a buck. He was just milking it. This is the same thing that I was saying with the whole aspect of, I get it. It's the way that this algorithm goes. But again, when y'all go to these spaces, it's not to I think that we can always say that we understand. It's not to understand a point of view. It's not to seek nuance. It's not to actually understand what exactly happened. It's either to blame, finger wag, or say that I'm on the right side. You know what I mean? Rather than like figuring this shit out when it comes to talking about these situations, right? If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. Like even this is where I'm at a space with FD Signifier. I think that's why I showed that although I agree with some of his points, I think that the way he execute his points is kind of like, do you like the shit that you like, or do you like how they sold it to you? You know what I mean? Like that Childish Gambino. Y'all remember the Kawaii? Like, do you like what you like, or do you like how they sold it to you? You understand what I mean? And I think that that's my issue with ShawnCee. Is kind of like, it's, you know, he does say there's a lot of buzzwords because it gets the people going. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Shit. I can almost guarantee that ShawnCee has a good chunk of white people that listens to his works to say that I'm on the right side of history. As much as, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I can say the same thing with my shit. You understand what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I think that people understand where I'm coming from, but I'm just trying to find the right words to actually vocalize what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense. But y'all seen you see all the fucking videos. You see all the videos. It's to milk the fucking algorithm, nigga. Just is what it is. Can't hate the play, you gotta hate the game. But let's call the game what it is. It's the game, not some introspective of, you know, lambasting the misogyny within misogynoir within hip hop. Let's just nigga, you no, nigga. Stop the bullshit, bruh. Specifically when it pertained to the Megan Thee Stallion situation and Tory Lanez, right? Just saying all types of buzzwords because it's provocative. It keeps the people going. It gets the people going. You understand what I mean? Can't hate the play, you gotta hate the game. but I don't know if he's serious in his rhetoric. You understand what I mean? For lack of better words, it's almost like it just is what it is. This will cause my YouTube to blow up, my video to blow up, if I say these words, put this title on, and speak in this manner towards this specific group of people. Because I know that those specific group of people have, either way, let's just keep it a buck. Either way, you're making money. Either way, you're making money off it. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't. I'm just saying pick a side and stay on it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't choose a side. Choose a side, stay on it. Because you can't say shit like you agree with the aspect of toxic masculinity and the aspect of basically Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, and then say it in this instance, almost implying that toxic masculinity as if it's not real. But you were just defending it in one instance, and now it's kind of like you're implying that it's not a real thing in this instance, specifically dealing with this character.
Any woman who dares see value in a man outside of the one that they're sitting across from, we're gonna act like all of these white content creators who are Drake, not hip-hop, but Drake adjacent, due to some acknowledgement or cosign from him, don't feel empowered every time he releases something, which is generally when they are their most visible. They don't come out to say anything about hip-hop. Their opinion isn't valued or discussed outside of anything regarding Drake for the most part. And when it is, it shows you where their allegiances lie. You see it in people like XQC, someone who thinks what rappers actually have to say doesn't even matter. Despite his ignorance, despite his lack of cultural awareness, despite his lack of nigga bucks, Drake would reward him with a presence on his stream. What about Los Polos? This fat fuck thinks people are stupid for protesting about ICE. God forbid you see someone being harassed by a fake Fed and say, you know what, that seems unjust. Maybe I should get in the way and potentially stop this person from having their life ended early. You know what Los Polos thinks about that? How do you think he would feel about a guy like Aiden Ross, somebody who platforms black people will essentially making fools out of themselves, fighting one another, going far as to platform other people who have actively shown to be racist against his participants, publicly endorsing the same person that Drake publicly denounced years ago? What about the Nelk Boys? Netanyahu propaganda merchants, Nick Fuentes platformers, Donald Trump associates. After platforming and being openly associated with these individuals, would it not be reasonable for someone to believe that Drake, who last did an interview with a black face in front of him in 2019 when he thought he could still get some real estate and some footing with black culture, is now trying to gain cultural currency not with black folks, but with these white platforms? Are we gonna pretend like Drake, who used to do dance play and Afrobeat cosplay in order to attract a new audience, in order to broaden his horizon? Are we gonna pretend like this dude is above going after a new group of people who he sees are easily exploitable? People he can continue to profit off of, especially as he goes into his next business venture? We're gonna act like the dude who co-signs almost anything popular.
It's like, the reason why I don't have a problem with what he's saying, it still just keeps going back to the aspect of the almost guarantee. How do you say all of this? I know, and it's small to some people, but to me it's big, because that lets me know that you're not trying to put them in a bucket. You don't want to put them in a bucket, and I get it. I didn't want to put Kanye West in a bucket, but I got to put him in that motherfucking Foul 13. I got to put him in that bucket. And I think that a lot of people are wrestling with the fact, specifically black American people that like Drake's aesthetic. I just call it what it is. It's an aesthetic. It's a costume. But black people that like Drake's costume have to grapple with the fact that he don't really fuck with you, nigga. He don't. So when you say all of that, ShawnCee, but before all of that, you say, I can almost guarantee. I don't know how you can almost guarantee that when your words are saying this. You gave us multiple examples on how the contrary is the medium is the message, for lack of better words. I don't know. This video wasn't more so about Drake or Kendrick. It was more so the aspect of I see a lot of content creators, not even a lot. I'm gonna just specifically keep this on ShawnCee, and if I have enough evidence to present to my audience, I will let you know. But this is one of the creators that will almost not choose a side and basically be on some type of time where it's kind of like, well, you did this, this, and this, but I'm still kind of like, I can almost guarantee you that he's not as bad as we think. It's like that type of energy. You know what I mean? But he'll still wag his finger in his face to get his people that's on his side like, wait a minute. What do you mean by that? You know what I mean? But you did this, you did this, you did this. But I can almost guarantee you that you're not MAGA. Ever since that nigga Kanye West put that fucking Make America Great Again, it was nothing was ever the same. Some people can even say, like, I even hear some black women say things like, ever since he started dating Amber Rose. You know what I mean? Like, because was Kim Kardashian after Amber Rose? Yeah, it was. Shit, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Ever since his mother died, Kanye West was never the same. You understand what I mean? I think that he had a lot of things that he wanted to talk to his mother about, that it's almost like I can understand. I hear a lot of black women talk about the aspects of the emotional toll that black men will have them bear to be able to compensate for their issues that they have with not only just their mother, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think that there's also the aspect of their father not being there as well. Because Kanye West's father wasn't there as well. So that emotional toll that woman that comes into his life, that's a heavy burden. That's a heavy burden. You understand what I mean? So it's like I try to listen to all sides. I mean, her side, his side, and the truth. You feel me? But yeah, that's it. Like I said before, my issue isn't with Drake or Kendrick. It's more so just with content creators like ShawnCee that share my complexion and make it seem as though they're. I don't know how else to describe this, but again, I'll just say you can't say that I can almost guarantee that Drake isn't MAGA adjacent or aligning, and then be on the other side of the fence and be like, well, you did this, this, and this. He's talking to people that's MAGA adjacent, but you can almost guarantee that he's not MAGA adjacent. He's talking to people that talk about black people in this manner, but you can almost guarantee I know it's smart. It may be small to me. I mean, to some people. It may be small to a lot of my audience. I don't care. I just pick a side on some Kendrick Lamar shit. Choose a fucking side. Choose a side. You understand what I mean? That's just me. It's like a little. It's what grinds my gears with a lot of the content creators on these spaces. And like that, we gone. I didn't mean for this shit to go fucking so long. We out.